Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic Lesson on Classics. This is episode number 2250 and Doubleshot 2144. I got two Marvel trades. The first is the start of a graphic novel series, the Epic Collection for this particular character. I've always wanted to talk about this character in Epic Collection form. Here we go. And the other is the finale for a completely entire different series. Which one you find out. First that we have is Wolverine Epic Collection Volume 1 Madripoor Nights, collecting Marvel Comics Presents 1 through 10, well, the Wolverine stories from them, the first 16 issues of Wolverine Volume 2, along with Marvel Age Annual number 4. Now, basically, you can think of basically the Marvel Comics 10-part serial, because that's what these are, serials. It simply put the backdoor pilot into the main book. It's basically the story that leads into the main book. Now, in this particular story, we're introduced to a woman named, who basically goes with the name Tiger. Yes. Basically, first we have a 5-part list. It's basically a complete 10-parter called Say the Tiger. We have the good guy, the bad guy, the cows, the ordeal, the rescue, things get bad, things get worse, the fight, the confrontation, and the resolution. Here's a little fun fact for you. Did you know issue 1 was actually released the same month as part 7? Yeah. Same month, but here's the thing. That is actually after issue 7. Thinking, really? Yeah, really. Plus, he uses the cover as Mark Hamill presents. Yes, and you can tell by the cover, there was also other features in the book. This one, in these first 10 issues this issue here first 2 issues had, there's Wolverine also had Man-Thing, the Master of Kung Fu, and the Silver, so that was the first issue. Second was Master of Kung Fu, Man-Thing, and the Captain. Basically, this book was also a flip book, where one side was basically the first 2 stories, you flip it over, and you have 2 more stories. And the book came out once every 2 weeks. Now, love the artwork here in this book. Oh, in case you're curious though, who is the writer of these issues? Chris Claremont and Peter David. Peter David does like 2 issues whole book. We have John Buscema and the late Gene Cole in the artwork. The cover art here, that's done by John Buscema, Al Williamson, and Matt Molina. The back cover, John Buscema, Claus Johnson, Matt Molina. Yeah, gorgeous artwork here. Here's a little fun fact for you. This issue here, Ron covers as number 1. Not only this debut of the character Tiger, one later will run the country of Madripoor. This is the debut of Madripoor. Yep, it's an island which, according to in the 2010s, was on the back of a dragon. Yep. And we basically just have Wolverine's Avengers in Madripoor. Yep. That's why we hear, of course, see him meet Jessica Ho, who becomes Tiger. Excuse me. So with issue 4, the Captain gets replaced with the Thing as a feature, and we also have Man-Thing in the book. In issue number 4, we have the Mighty Thor join a feature. Okay. So basically, it's like a good. It's Wolverine doing spy stuff. Also, we have debut of the Eye Patch. Yes, that he would actually go and support the main title. Other feature we had the book Submariner. That was issue number 7. Issue 8 was Iron Man. Yep. So he rescues Joan. There's a lot of basically stuff related to Wolverine's little adventure here. Also, he kind of sports his own costume, where he's got like a black suit with like a webbing mask. You're probably thinking, where the heck is his costume? Answer, they didn't bother to put it on him. Nope, they did not. For issues 9 and 10, which wraps up this feature, Master Kung Fu was replaced with Cloak. And we also have El Egra in issue number 9. In 10, it was dropped and replaced with Colossus and Machine Man. Aaron Sack Machine Man. Now, Colossus, I have discussed that before in the Colossus trade. They actually collect his whole feature in that book. Yeah, and of course, Wolverine also encounters a Rick and Morty character, Razor Fist. Now, you might be curious, though. Was this book his debut? Well, here's the answer to that question. Now, Tiger, yes, she and Madripoor did make their debut in this one. Manito's Razor Fist? Nope, this was not his debut. It was actually in Master Kung Fu number 105. And currently he's dead. He got killed off in Deadpool Assassins number 2. You're probably thinking, is this the same one who Shang-Chi fought? The answer is yes. This actually was his first appearance since an issue of West Coast Avengers. Yep. After the rest of his time with this book, he basically popped up for 2 issues of Avengers Spotlight, 2 issues of Captain America, Elektra, Spider-Man, another issue of Wolverine returning years later with Deadline, the 6-issue miniseries Toxin, there's Daughters of the Dragon. He's popped up sporadically, but his last appearance, like I said, was in Deadpool Assassins number 2, where he got killed off there. Yep. And despite the fact the feature is kind of wrapped up with issue number 10, like the whole story itself, well, not necessarily. He continues with basically the very next issue. Yeah, and he's actually in Madripoor for like the very next issue. Yeah, he continues. He's still there. And plus also, you may have seen his cover before. Like, wait, wasn't this cover also used for an issue for Dawkins' book? Yep, the same exact cover. Yep. This is mostly put... Now, the first issue, kind of in a way, you could think of this as the epilogue to that 10-part feature. That's mostly put what this first issue is. Yep. And then he leaves Madripoor. Oh, by the way, Lindsay McCabe, who later becomes a character in the pages of Spider-Woman, the most recent volume of the book. They do kill off one character, Roshi. Yeah, he was actually a major crime lord in these issues. He got killed in issue 10. Now, the weird thing is, despite the fact, yes, it's still Wolverine, but he could not be called his own. Now, okay, one of his name is Lindsay McCabe. She's a Spider-Man character, and they just have her figure here as a recurring character in this book. Yep, and she's here from issue 1, and then she leaves issue 16, comes back for 2 more issues of this volume, also an issue for Wolverine, Kenny X-Men, and an issue for Essentials of Spider-Man, and then she disappears for about 20 years for popped up in Spider-Woman, where she appears for the last like 10 issues of the book. Yep. Issue 2, he has a fight with the Silver Samurai. Yep, and this issue was kind of actually, this was not Loose Death for the animation, it was something else. So, Wolverine is still Patch. Yeah. So, he has a fight with the Silver Samurai. Bunch of other stuff going on here. I believe this issue is also first appearance of the character Yuri. Yes, Yuri. A character who is, I believe, currently deceased right now. I remember there was another character who made a debut here in these issues that later got killed off during Jason Aaron's run. Here she is. Yeah, she actually made a debut in the previous one, Wolverine. Yeah, but she's not here this volume. Yeah, for some reason she's not appearing this volume. For some reason, I thought she did. My mistake. So you have Lindsay here as a supporting character. Yeah, basically just issue 2 just deals with the Silver Samurai. Then we have the Marvel Age Annual, which is kind of in a way just kind of retells like a little bit of like stuff related to Wolverine around this period of time. And then issue 4, actually it was 2 and 3 deal with Silver Samurai. Now, in the case of 4, we're used to 2 characters. One who actually became a long-term recurring character in this run, Roundhouse and Bloodsport. Yep, these 2 people. Roughhouse, he basically, well, he was here for a lot of this volume, and I do mean a lot of it. Now, as for why in the world they said I had appeared a lot, I have no freaking idea. Now, if you're curious, though, is he still alive? Oh, yes. So, yeah, he's here from issue 4. And he's here for a regular basis until issue 23. Yeah, for nearly 20 straight issues he's here for. And then he pops up again for 123, and that's it for him this volume. He's popped up sporadically since, and apparently he's Asgardian. His last known appearance date was issue of Old Man Logan, issue 41. As for Bloodsport, well, he's not exactly well known as Roundhouse is. Yeah, he appears much. Like, he also was kind of the same way, but he disappeared after issue 8, popped up for issue 17, and then he returned for issue 77 to pretty much 86, and also last appeared for a couple more issues of Wolverine. His last appearance was also Old Man Logan. Yep, so, yeah, these 2, you can kind of think of, aside from Sabretooth, because Wolverine just had him as part of his Rogues Gallery. Roundhouse and Bloodsport were specifically created just to be part of his Rogues Gallery, because Wolverine just doesn't even have his own Rogues Gallery. Now you might be curious though. Okay, so then you saw Wolverine wearing this black costume. Where is issue 8? Yes, issue 8. It's more like what's up with Tiger here. It's just like falling around, fighting Roundhouse. By the way, the cover for the book is also issue 6, and I think it's under issue 9. Yes, issue 9. And in issue 7, we have a guest appearance by Peter David's Joe Fixit. Yep, because we basically have Wolverine go to Las Vegas. But actually, no. He's still in Madripoor. Yes, for some reason, he's still in Madripoor. And Joe Fixit's in town. Just because. It's strange, though, they included Wolverine's guest appearances in Hulk. Then we have this really cool cover of this is clearly a homage to Twins. And I think like 8 was the last one to finally have, well, Wolverine not in his costume. I think it was. So yeah, after that 2-parter, then finally, 8. Now this is issue 9. Yes, 9 issues in, and he finally puts on his damn costume. Yes, why the heck did he wait 9 freaking issues for his costume? I have no idea. I would love to ask Chris Campbell that question. Hey, why did you wait to issue 9 to put on his costume? Yeah. And then you have issue 10 where he fights Sabretooth first time in this book. Yep. First time in the Wolverine Still book, he fights Sabretooth. Yep. And then we basically conclude with a storyline known as the Gina Stone Affair, which is a 6-parter. Yes, a 6-parter that Chris Claremont, I don't think, does these issues. No, I think Peter David. Yeah, Peter David takes over as the writer for these issues. Yep, Peter David takes over as the writer. It's a 6-part, like, spy-ish storyline. I love the artwork here by the artist John Buscema. It's just really good. I found this to be so awesome. I'm looking at this book at 10 out of 10 because it's just pure awesomeness at its finest. Now, in case you're curious, though, this stuff covers from a period of early December 1988 to mid-November 1989. So, when I get Volume 2, I'm done with the 80s for Wolverine. Like, completely. Because I already reviewed the previous volume already, so basically it's on the next one. Next up we have is the final trade for Sad Avengers. Not only for this volume, but for the entire series. Why? The series ended. The rumor reason I heard, low sales. Yep. They canceled this book because of low sales. Despite how really good this book is. Now, Day of Purpose is basically the writer of these issues. It's called Volume 2, Escape from Nueva, York. Basically a Futurix version of New York. With Carlos Magneto on the artwork. Yes. Now, Conan the Barbarian is off the title. Yep. With issue number 5, he is gone. Completely. Yep. Now, for some strange reason, I do not know what was the reason for this. Yeah, so Conan was written in the book with issue number 5. Yep, he left the book. The reason? Marvel lost the rights to him. Yep. That was the reason why. He didn't die, he just basically left the group. And this book in particular, issue 5, that was his last Marvel appearance to date. And where is he currently? Apparently, Titan Comics got already published it. I'm like, really? Yes, Titan. So basically, you have the Avengers go to the future, and they're on the run from the Jake Lackey Punisher. Which, for some reason, they made his backstory in this book a carbon copy of Frank Castle's backstory, even though it was not his backstory from the original book. In the original book, his wife, it was his wife, sister, and mother were murdered by the 2099 Venom, who's also Miguel O'Hara's half-brother. Yes, seriously. Now, lining for these issues are Miles Morales, who's a frickin' cyborg. Well, he's a Deathlock. You have Anti-Venom Flash, Elektra, who's also Daredevil, Cloak and Dagger, and I think that's it. Yep, that's it. Because most of these issues, it's basically them trapped in the year 20. Oh yeah, there's also, you have Cloak and Dagger, Weapon H, Deathlock, who's Miles Morales, Daredevil, Elektra, and Anti-Venom. Now, early on in the book, Anti-Venom basically was flirted with Dagger. So, basically, they're on the run from Jake Lackey, who is the Punisher. Yep. And they go a little bit of his backstory, and... Okay, so... Yeah, this is where... Oh, by the way, the person who gives his backstory is Lila. You're thinking, Lila? As in Miguel O'Hara's AI? Yep. Not sure. In case you're curious, though, does Miguel O'Hara... Now, but before I can answer that question, this has been in the book. I'll answer that later. So, then they go to the Avengers Mansion, which apparently in the future it's in ruins, and there's a statue. Now, the statue... This hasn't seen before in the Avengers Mansion. In case you're curious, though, the Avengers have not been headquartered at the Avengers Mansion. Well, it's not been used base operations for them since, like, 2018. Yep. So, yeah, continue to find Punisher's forces. And then the first issue, apparently the future is under control of Ultron. Yes, they brought back frickin' Ultron in this book because just cuz. Yep. So, Punisher's in control over it. The Punisher's not the main bag of this book. Nope, it's frickin' Ultron. Yes, Ultron. And there's something really cool I'll get to the end of the book. So, and then they run into the 2099 version of MODOK. Yes, frickin' MODOK. Yeah, Punisher. And then they run into Doom 2099, where you have Dagger. So, Victor Von Doom, how would you like to be an Avenger? If that means taking a revenge on Ultron, dear lady, then I'll follow you through the gates of hell. Yes, she went to frickin' Doctor Doom. Who, fun fact, out of all the 29 titles, his book lasted the longest at 46. Spider-Man 29 was 44 issues. You're thinking, really? Doom's book will last the longest? Out of all the titles they had, Doom's was the longest? Yeah, it was the longest. Lots of brawling here. Still fighting Ultron. Weapon H, he doesn't do very much issues. Yes, I'll get to the final thoughts on that later. So, yeah, continue fighting Ultron's forces. I am Doom! I'm going to beat the crap out of Ultron. Yep. So, yeah, Punisher killing a bunch of other Deathlocks. Lots of really fun stuff here. Everything gets wrapped up with issue number 10. Yeah, then of course you have some armor up. Then we have Punisher 29, who's now changed his look. Apparently he's been converted by Ultron. Priority targets acquired. Activating target. Yeah, basically he's been cybernized. So, yeah, Hulk frame basically. Oh yeah, and apparently, yeah, Cloak finally confesses his feelings to Dagger. Something readers have wanted for decades. These two finally come an item, and yeah, they do. Cloak and Dagger come an item, and then apparently, like, oh, let's have a Cyber 29 version of the Avengers. Yep. So it's comprised of. Get this. Okay, it's led by the legendary Daredevil with Miles. In the background, Strange 2099, Ravage 2099, Ghost Rider 20, who's a cyborg. We have the flying guy from X-Men 2099, and for some reason, Black Swan is here. Yes, Black Swan is here. This web she's not from the future. So you have massive war going on here. You have Black Knight taking out with his lightsaber sword. He brings that back. Takes Ultron. And eventually, Deathlock is freed. And eventually, Deathlock is... Punisher is freed. And you have some people getting webbed up here. Yeah, then they hop through a portal. And then you have Miles encountering the Watcher, who witnessed everything related to this book. And then he's restored. Yeah. Miles is restored to his family. As we wrap the character, Ultron is dumped in the grave of Jacob Gallows, who was actually really his name. And then he's done there. And then you have the Savage Avengers going back to present day, where they encounter Fing Fang Foom. Yes. Clay, can you say one last time? What the hell? We're Avengers right now. Let's prove it. And they go out and do some fight with Fing Fang Foom. This book is excellent. Love it. I love the fact that David Prowse, for a second arc, decided to do a love letter 2099. Which, probably pretty fun. Having Ultron there, that kind of made sense, given the fact he's a robot. This book is amazing. I'm going to give this book a 10 out of 10, because I found the book pretty fun. Though it's strange, though, the fact you have 2099, this is where we're sitting, and Miguel O'Hara is only here for cameo? Really? A guy who was practically the face of that imprint? And he's here for a cameo. Well, excuse me. One negative I should give it to is Jake Lackey. David Prowse, why did you change Jake Lackey's backstory? Where, like, they made into a carbon copy of Frank Castle's. I mean, if you read 29 number 1, Punish 29 number 1, this is completely different from that book. Yeah, it's like, in case you're curious though, the version from this book, is this from the original line of Savage Avengers? Like, original print? Oh yeah, also Black Knight becomes Blood Wraith. So yeah, they don't really... It's like it's stated is 2099, but it's not exactly clarified. Yeah. They also have a version of Jake's on this book for some reason. Called Multifactor. Yeah, we have a version of the original one. He pops up for this book for reasons. Yeah, it's almost like they never clarify exactly if this is in 29. It's like it's in 29, but not really. And by the final issue, the whole book is wrapped up. Oh, the one guy is basically Bloodhawk. Oh, I thought it was Black Swan. No, but it's a woman named La Luta. I think she's from X-Men. Yep, she's an X-Men character. Because why not? Yep. But yeah, as for my final thoughts on this short-lived run and the whole series as a whole, I love the original Gary Duggan run. I thought it was fantastic. It's a shame that the guy left and we relaunched it and we have this run. It's a good run. It's just surprising the book only lasted 10 issues. As far as I can tell, they're like, you read the story, it's like, wow, there could be more story here. Nope, we have accident because of low sales. Yep, that's the reason for it. But this is a damn good book. Even though it's short, but just really good. It's one of those books. Now, do I feel as though Marvel made a mistake with canceling this book? Not as much as, let's say, when Guardians of the Galaxy got canceled. That I felt was a mistake, though they rectified it by bringing it back recently. This book in particular, maybe the reason they canceled it because it wasn't the same without Gary Duggan's awesomeness in the book. Of course, Dave Prowse himself, hasn't done many books in Marvel. And you're thinking, he hasn't? Yeah, he hasn't. Aside from this book, he worked in it for Thor, a short story for, I think it was Daredevil, Black, White, and Blood. Let's see. So yeah, he worked on this book. This actually was his first book he worked on was actually Elektra, Black, White, and Blood #3. This was his first series he worked on. Not a one-shot issue, a whole series. He also did Avengers Infinity Comic Unlimited, the whole book for that one. He also did a story for Moon Knight, Black, White, and Blood. He worked on the last 2 issues of Fantastic Four, Volume 6. After this book, he continued working on Avengers Unlimited Infinity Comic. The most recent stuff he's done, he did Carnage Reigns Alpha. He did the opening issue of that mini-series, that crossover. Yeah. He did the third story in that one. Mm-hmm. He then, of course, he did the Hulk Annual, which that was a recent release for him, which was really good, by the way. Oh yeah, really. Mostly for that annual, it's mostly a fill in the gap between Don Nicholas' run, which wrapped up, and the start of Phil Kennedy Johnson's run. If you're curious, he's working on a second physical book he's working on, which is Moon Knight City of the Dead. Yep. Which up next month. Excuse me, looking forward to it. I think it's going to be about yeah, it's going to be like a 5-issue miniseries, I think it was. But physical book, it's only a third book he worked on because he did work on 2 issues of Fantastic Four. Yep. Which we'll discuss in the future, don't worry about that. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much a particular view. Next up is going to be Dr. Stone. That is Devin. Okay, next video. Bye.